The victim in this case started texting 911 that she was being held against her will.
But before the texting began, it started with a hang-up call to 911. Flagler County deputies used technology to trace the location of contact and were dispatched to an apartment in Palm Coast Resort for what they suspected was a domestic disturbance. Sheriff Rick Staley says that's when things took a turn.
After an hour of negotiation, both individuals came out. The victim was a victim of domestic violence and was being held against her will by her boyfriend. However, both individuals had active fugitive warrants from Flagler County, and ultimately both were arrested.
Amber Bruder was wanted on a fugitive warrant for violating pretrial services tied to a domestic battery charge in February of 2022. Jacob Bear faces charges of violating a no-contact order, tampering with the victim, and hindering an emergency call. Staley called this a perfect example of why his office implemented text to 911.
So that if you cannot talk because of the situation you're in, you can text 911 and communicate with the sheriff's office so deputies or paramedics can respond.
Today's Flagler's Morning News presented by Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine. A proposal in which Palm Coast City Council members are seeking to give themselves a hefty pay raise is under the microscope.
Earlier this month, Mayor David Alfin proposed a 365% pay increase for members of council, who, if passed, would go from making $9,600 to more than $44,000 a year. Flagler County Commissioners are paid more than $54,000 a year to fill their elected roles. Commissioner Andy Dance says there's two schools of thought on the issue.
I think there's some validity to the amount of time that the Palm Coast councilmen put to do their jobs, and are they getting adequately compensated for that kind of time commitment, or is it just a volunteer position and you signed up for it?
Even Flagler County School Board members are paid more than Palm Coast City Council members, making more than $34,000 a year. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
A prominent Flagler County thoroughfare is labeled one of the U.S.'s all-American roads.
A1A Scenic and Historic Coastal Byway is one of 15 roadways in 48 states to receive the special designation by the Federal Highway Administration. Amy Lukasik, Executive Director of Tourism at Flagler County.
This type of exclusive designation in Flagler County is the type of tourism asset that we welcome and strongly support. I mean, how wonderful that we can promote this type of an attraction.
Running the length of St. John's and Flagler counties, the 72-mile stretch of road is considered a jewel in Flagler County's crown. And now Flagler County Commissioner Greg Hansen says the new designation will provide other goals for Flagler County.
It opens up the door for grants to help us. It will certainly help our Tourist Development Council in their efforts for ecotourism. And this is a designation we can use to try to thwart some of the development that's going on.
The Friends of A1A Scenic and Historic Coastal Byway is a nonprofit organization that made the nomination. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Flagler Beach is holding a new surfing competition that's literally going to the dogs.
It's called the Hang 8 Dog Surfing Competition and takes place May 21st at the 5th Street South Dune Walkover Beach. Flagler Beach Commissioner Eric Cooley explains how he learned about the events.
Came across this ridiculous concept that people are doing, mostly on the West Coast, of surfing with their dogs. Then, in addition to surfing with the dogs, they're actually letting the dogs do the surfing, and it's catching on.
He saw a competition in St. Augustine.
It was surprising. It was ridiculous. It was also amazing because you're bringing in families. It's wholesome. It's just a lot of fun. A dog-friendly event. People who have interest in it.
Flagler Beach's competition will also be a fundraiser.
This is raising money for dog rescues and the Humane Society, which is severely underserved. They're always struggling for money, and they never seem to get enough, and the need never goes away.
Cooley says dogs will be required to be up on their vaccinations, plus they need to be friendly with other dogs and with people. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
Does it matter who responds when you call 911?
Palm Coast Fire Coordinator Jennifer Fivash says it does not. one thing that we want the public to know, like, we're all the same certified. We always have a paramedic on our truck, just like they always have a minimum of one paramedic on their ambulance. When we go out to those calls, it doesn't matter the shirt.
Five Ash said that first responders, no matter from which department, are there to provide a service. She said their mission statement is delivering the best service to our community every time. Listen to Common Ground on Sunday mornings at 10 on the radio or anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, how many calls does the Palm Coast Fire Department run in a year's time? From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.